This is the simplicity of exercise. What I mean by that is, don't need anything complicated to do exercise, good exercise. So currently doing many, or to about 85% of my capacity, pull-ups with a pause, pausing at the top and the halfway down, get that isometric burn, then into bottom, pull them straight back up. Into press-ups with a slow lower, pause at the bottom, explode back up. 10 of those. Then into 30 sit-ups. Don't find sit-ups that hard, so for me, that is just for me, that's my recovery type exercise. And then I'll have a minute or so off before I go into the next round. And I'm just gonna keep repeating this. That's how simple exercise can be. If you're a beginner, it doesn't have to be as complicated as my one. Your version could be pull-ups, press-ups, squats, sit-ups, done. Nothing more complicated than that. If you just set a stopwatch for however long you think you can go, say 30 seconds, and each time that stopwatch goes off, have a rest. Be honest with yourself, use the rest that you need, and then push on from there. Once you do that over and over again, you'll start realising that this isn't complicated. So, if you're wondering, I've said earlier about the simplicity of this. If you're looking for the simplicity of it, it doesn't have to be a pull-up. TRX row, we're using these straps and just doing a row type movement, serve the same purpose. If you're A, too heavy to do a pull-up, B, struggle with the pull-up and not strong enough yet. Both those things can be changed, and you're building towards getting strong enough or being light enough. I'm not that heavy, so for me, that's not that hard of an exercise. It is, but it's not. Press-ups, the only reason I'm using bars is to get a bit further depth on my press-ups. Obviously the floor stops here, that gives me a little bit further to go. But again, it's not, if you're beginning, you don't need to start at that point. And then the sit-ups is, well, I did a test or an assessment of my all-around fitness, of all the different fitness movements about a month ago now, and I'm working on making some of those stronger because, well, I want them to be a higher standard. I want them to get to a bigger number. Now they're still a good standard, but that's not the point. I'm striving for more, which is what we should all be doing. So that's where it's at. So as I said earlier, it's not about the protocols, it's not about the fancy workout plan that you're following. It's about the consistency, it's about what you have in here and in here. These are probably the most two important. The will to drive on and the heart to push when you don't really want to when it's getting difficult, it's cold outside. I'm not training legs, in case you're wondering, in this session because I've done 2 hours of problem sessions in the classes with those like running around and got a good bit of distance running up and down really undulating hilly terrain, so especially on the second one. So I don't need to train my legs so much today. Also the last couple of days have been heavy leg sessions. So the point is just to get the work done, and I feel like I need a bit more recovery now, so I'm blabbing. It's because I want a little bit of a breather. But as I said, it's mostly heart, head, will to carry on when it gets hard. Like, set yourself some parameters, some standards that you feel like you want to achieve. Don't go outworldish with the what you're going to do, because you'll just quit because it gets too hard. So put a thing that just tests your limits, i.e. it could be as simple as I need to hit 6,000 steps every day. And if you are static working, i.e. sitting at a desk all day, that might seem quite difficult, but have a look at what your steps are currently, and then if you increase them by 2,000 or 30%, you're already doing something extra. You don't have to flog yourself to death to get that bit fitter. It's about you taking the steps to get better and better and better and better and better, and then that is what drives to success, is the consistency of I'm just going to add another 30% to my load. The 30% is quite a jump, but if you're at the moment struggling and you're not actually doing anything, or you're doing very little, 30% should be capable. But again, if it needs to be 5%, make it 5%. Just do a bit more, eat a bit less, drink less booze or no booze. Join the Agoge and see how well they're all doing. It runs all the time, so you don't have to join it at a specific date. It's just you jump in the community, you see what everybody else is doing, and you go, oh, that's nice, they're getting somewhere with their journey. That seems quite simple rules to follow. I'll join that. It's very easy. I've been doing this for a long time, so if you look at my consistency and why, I'm not saying that looks easy for me, but I'm pushing the boundaries of what I can do at this moment with those repetitions. The sit-ups, as I said, easy one for me, but the consistency I've held is probably from running around at the age of 13 to now the age of 44. So there's a 31-year period where I've held consistency. Now that doesn't mean I was always doing press-ups or pull-ups or pauses or sit-ups like that, but I built on that over that amount of time to have a good standard that I can always fall to. And if that falls below, I really need to work on that. But for now, I have the standard which I can go, that's the standard I'm happy with. If I want to get stronger, we'll do a bit more to build up past that number. But there's nothing outside of that, it's just doing those things. Here's a good tip. It doesn't really work nowadays because this was the 90s, but the way I got ready for the press-ups and sit-ups that were required in the army, and also the 1.5 but different metric, was anytime an advert came on, when I was living at my grand's at the time, waiting to join the army, I would do press-ups and sit-ups. So adverts usually 3 to 4 minutes long. I'm doing press-ups and sit-ups for that amount of time, not killing me, then resting while the 15 minutes of the episode of whatever it was that was on my granddad were watching, and then doing it again and again and again and again. Just continuing to do that to build some consistency. So when I got to the basic training in the army, it used to be a bleep, so it'd be a beep, 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 beep. So you just go to the beep, either sit up, sit down, or press up, press down, and that would be your timer. So you'd have to stick to that time. They stopped the tape. It was me and actually Ant Middleton doing that, because we were in the same basic training crew, and we were both still doing sit-ups, and they kind of just went, oh, stop the tape now, because that's past where we need to see you get to. We'd passed the standard. But that wasn't because we were already excellent in our ability, and I'm sure, I don't know Ant Middleton anymore, I knew him for a brief period of my life when he was young, and good egg, liked him. That was because we built a consistency. In fact, if he ever hears this, he probably won't know who I am, but he was the guy that would always win some of the fitness stuff, and I'd be the one chasing him, and yeah, it was annoying. Right, next round. So if I'm editing the video now, and this is a rest period in between, I think I've done 5 rounds, but the video can show me. I'm doing the maths on the timer. I'm stopping around about 4.5 minutes. It's currently 24 minutes. That should be 5, 6 rounds. I think that's 6 rounds, maybe a 6. We're just going to keep going, and we'll push through to a point where the 6 pull-ups are a struggle. Now, the pull-ups and the press-ups, as I said before, are harder. They are the harder exercises of this 3 movement exercise or workout. But I've kept them to a point where 85% of my max effort for that pace, i.e. the pauses, and that time under tension. Time under tension is just literally how long is your muscle under tension for. It can be broken down to the minutiae, so the one movement itself and the one pause, or the time, say I'm hanging off the bar, so the whole amount of time of the pull-ups. And so, yeah, I was aiming for around about a minute of each, minute rest, go again. That's just my protocol for this workout. Play with it. Be ready to be a beginner. You know, even if you're really good, like I'm trying to be a beginner on everything I do, even though I've done this for X amount of years. Being a beginner allows you the freedom to try things that you may be a little bit scared of. Just do those things. It's so much more freer, more beneficial to you. Okay, so that's in the last round. I'm going to push on until we get some kind of fatigue. Well, that round was some kind of fatigue. So I'm going to have a decent break now, and then I'm going to go into just try and do the pauses and finish with a continuous state. So we try and get 2 or 3 more, maybe a few more reps on top of the ones I've done, so there's an element of failure to it. You'll probably see a little bit of bad form, maybe a bit of kipping, but recognise that's the end of the workout where fatigue is setting. So the whole point there is to just push through. Not really worried about the sit-ups. As I said, sit-ups isn't a thing that I really need to work on that much to maintain the standard I want to hold. So it'll be mostly about the pull-ups and press-ups. And we'll see what we get. Another minute of rest, so really give it my best here. And this is kind of the point too, is listening to your body, not just pushing through every piece. I'm not trying to get conditioning, I'm not trying to get cardiovascular working that hard right now. I've already done a warm-up row or ski erg, and I've already run around the Waysy, so my cardio's had its cardio, and tomorrow I'll probably do a harder cardio session to allow for recovery of the certain muscle groups I've done now, and then also to work on my heart and lungs. It's a consistency thing. For me, the Agogi 1 hour, so the power hour, the do 60 minutes of exercise every day, works perfectly because it just gives me that, right, gotta go in and do the hour. How's your body feeling? My body's feeling knackered, okay, so do an easier exercise routine today. Or my body feels knackered, but maybe that's just my brain, let's go in and find out how we feel first. Or, I feel great, let's go smash it. Those are my parameters of what happens in the workout. I've got an idea of what muscle groups I want to work and things like that, but you've got to listen to your body and then adapt to fit those parameters. That's enough jabbering on, let's get on with the next round. More than a minute's rest, last bit of pump, just push through, no pauses. See if we get a couple of reps while under a much more fatigued body. While under a much more fatigued body. Yeah, that minute is going really fast, and the pump in my arms is suggesting that's not happening. We'll find out. Let's go for it.